You've been told that belly fat is a willpower problem. Eat less, move more, try harder. I spent the first half of my nursing career repeating that exact advice, and I watched patient after patient do everything right. Clean eating, consistent exercise, intermittent fasting, and still carry weight right here. It wasn't a discipline problem, it was cortisol. And the way most doctors test cortisol misses the actual problem entirely. I know because I finally tested myself the right way for 30 days, and what I found changed everything. Cortisol is your stress hormone, made in your adrenal glands, released when your body perceives a threat. In a true emergency, it's life-saving. But when it's chronically elevated, which it is in most exhausted women over 40, it tells your body to store fat, specifically in the abdomen, not the hips, not the arms, the belly. Because that's where fat is closest to your liver for rapid energy conversion. Your body is hoarding fuel for a threat that never comes. The more stressed you are, the more belly fat your body stores, regardless of what you eat. Cortisol also blocks progesterone, disrupts thyroid function, spikes blood sugar even when you're fasting, and destroys sleep quality. One hormone, all of these downstream effects. And most doctors test it with a single morning blood draw, which tells you almost nothing about your actual cortisol rhythm. Here's what a standard cortisol blood test looks like. Your doctor orders it at 8 a.m., one draw, one number. If it falls between roughly 6 and 23 micrograms per deciliter, you're normal. They send you home. The problem is that cortisol fluctuates dramatically throughout the day. It's meant to be highest in the morning, that's what wakes you up, and lowest at night, that's what lets you sleep. When that rhythm gets disrupted, high at night, low in the morning, you wake up exhausted, crash in the afternoon, get a second wind at 10 p.m. and can't fall asleep. Sound familiar? A single morning blood draw cannot show you that pattern. You need 4 measurements: morning, noon, afternoon, and night, using a saliva test, which measures the biologically active cortisol, not the total. This is standard in functional medicine and almost never ordered in conventional care. So you get told you're fine, and you still feel terrible. So I ordered a 4-point saliva cortisol test. Collected samples at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and 10 p.m. for 3 days in a week, at the beginning of the month, 2 weeks in, and at the end of 30 days. I also tracked my sleep using HRV data, my belly measurements every 7 days, what I was eating and when, and my stress load, which as a nurse and a business owner is never zero. I changed nothing else for the first 2 weeks. I wanted to see my baseline pattern before I intervened. What I found shocked me, not because it was unusual, but because it was exactly what I see in the patients I counsel, and I hadn't even recognized it in myself. My morning cortisol, low, really low, 6.2 nanomoles per liter when optimal is 13 to 24. This is why I was dragging every morning no matter how much I slept. My noon cortisol also low, my 4 p.m. cortisol slightly elevated, and my 10 p.m. cortisol significantly elevated, more than double where it should be at night. This is called an inverted cortisol curve. It's extremely common in chronically stressed women, and it explains every symptom I'd been experiencing: the morning exhaustion, the afternoon energy crash, the second wind at night, the inability to fall asleep before midnight, and the belly fat that had appeared and wouldn't move despite clean eating. My body was in a low-grade physiological emergency at 10 p.m. every night, storing fat, disrupting sleep, blocking recovery, and every blood test I'd had came back normal. After working with dozens of clients through my Healing Blueprint program and tracking this data, I've identified 3 distinct cortisol patterns that create belly fat, and they each need a different intervention. Pattern 1, the flat line. Cortisol stays low all day. These are the people who are exhausted morning, noon, and night. No energy peaks at all, often diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. Pattern 2, the inverted curve. This was mine, low in the morning, high at night. Classic tired but wired. You can't wake up and can't fall asleep. Night owl energy that's actually stress. Pattern 3, the sustained spike. High cortisol all day long. These are the high achievers, the ones who run on adrenaline. They feel productive until they crash, usually around 45-55 when the adrenal glands can't sustain it anymore. Each one looks like a different problem. Each one requires a different solution. But every one of them will cause belly fat that does not respond to diet or exercise alone. Now here's the part that took me the longest to accept, because it contradicts almost everything that's recommended for weight loss. The two most common things women do to lose belly fat, cutting carbohydrates and doing intense cardio, raise cortisol, especially in women over 40 whose cortisol regulation is already impaired. Low-carb diets trigger a physiological stress response. HIIT and intense cardio spike cortisol acutely, and in a body that's already cortisol dominant, that spike doesn't come down the way it should. You are working harder, you are eating less, and you are making the actual problem worse with every rep and every meal you skip. The willpower isn't the problem. The protocol is the problem. The interventions that actually lower cortisol and mobilize belly fat are almost the opposite of what you've been told to do. Here's the 5-day cortisol reset I used and now teach inside my Healing Blueprint program. Day 1-2, stabilize blood sugar. Not cut carbs, stabilize them. Eating protein within 30 minutes of waking tells your adrenals they're not in an emergency. This alone can drop morning cortisol elevation by 20% within 48 hours for many people. Day 2-4, replace intense cardio with zone 2 movement. Walking, gentle cycling, swimming. Heart rate stays under 140. This burns fat without spiking cortisol. This is not easier. This is specifically calibrated to your hormonal state. Days 1-5, the 4-7-8 breath protocol. 4 minutes at the same time every evening. This is the breath work from my most recent video, which I'll link in the description. It directly activates your parasympathetic nervous system and begins flattening that nighttime cortisol elevation within 3 to 5 days. Sleep protection ritual. Lights dimmed by 9 p.m. No screens after 9:30. A magnesium glycinate supplement, 300 ml, before bed. This supports the cortisol drop your body needs to initiate sleep architecture. Targeted adaptogens. Ashwagandha for the inverted pattern, rhodiola for the flat line, holy basil for the sustained spike, not all at once, identified based on your pattern. If you want to know which cortisol pattern you're carrying, I've built a self-assessment inside my Healing Blueprint program that identifies your pattern and gives you the specific protocol for it. The link is below. And if you want to go deeper on the gut-cortisol connection, because they're inseparable, watch the video I'm linking right here. As a nurse, I can tell you, the gut is where cortisol regulation either breaks down or gets rebuilt. That video explains exactly why. If this gave you a new frame for what you've been experiencing, please share it with someone who needs to hear that their belly fat is not a character flaw. I'll see you in the next one.